You're watching WYLN TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Paula Degnan. The vote for a new Luzerne County manager was postponed at last night's Luzerne County Council meeting. As soon as the meeting began, the announcement was made due to new information received about the candidates. Council members voted 8-3 to remove the vote from the agenda. No word on what the new information was which caused the action or when council may move ahead to make the appointment. In other items on the agenda, council did vote to approve a tax break for a warehouse project coming to Johnson Street in Wilkes-Barre Township. An Eagleville woman has been charged for her involvement in a fatal crash that claimed the lives of 2 state troopers and 1 civilian. According to police, 21-year-old Jayana Tiana Webb was driving under the influence and at a high rate of speed when she struck the victims Monday morning along Interstate 95 in Philadelphia. Troopers Martin Mack and Brandon Siska were trying to take a man into custody at the time of the incident. 28-year-old Reyes Riviera Oliveras of Allentown was also killed in the crash. Webb has been charged with third-degree murder, vehicular homicide while driving under the influence, involuntary manslaughter, and recklessly endangering another person. Governor Tom Wolf has ordered that flags be flown at half-staff through Friday to honor the troopers whose lives were lost in the line of duty. In related news, the president of the Pennsylvania State Troopers Association is warning residents about a scam where organizations are pretending to raise money for the families of fallen troopers Martin and Siska. The association has received numerous reports that the scammers are calling and trying to solicit money to benefit the families. The PSTA is the only official organization that represents and serves state troopers, and they have stated that they do not use phone solicitation for fundraising. The public is being urged not to make donations or give personal information out to the fraudsters. The PSTA does, however, have an official website which can be found by visiting troopershelpingtroopers.org. A former postal employee now faces charges for allegedly delaying the delivery of thousands of pieces of mail. The United States Attorney's Office for the Middle District of Pennsylvania announced 29-year-old Jonathan Shearer of Pottsville was charged earlier this week with the obstruction of the mail. He allegedly delayed the delivery of over 3,000 pieces of mail when he worked at the post office from 2019 through October of 2020. Authorities allege that he failed to deliver the mail and kept it in his possession. If convicted, Shearer could receive the maximum penalty for the offense, which is 6 months in prison, probation after his release, plus a fine. It's now official. The Crestwood Area School Board voted to hire its next superintendent. The board voting 6-3 to hire Vito Coaglia to replace Robert Mahalik, who resigned back in January so that he could take a position as the assistant superintendent with the Hazleton Area School District. Coaglia worked for 18 years as a high school and elementary principal for the Wyoming Area School District before working as an elementary school principal in the Delaware Valley School District. The board was also expected to hire Crestwood's Director of Curriculum, Peg Foster, as assistant superintendent, but decided to table that vote at last night's special meeting until Coaglia has time to settle in his new position. The Department of Conservation and Natural Resources wants to remind Pennsylvanians about woodland fire danger as seasonal wildfire risk increases. Spring months such as March through May and autumn months, October and November, are where the wildfires are at the highest risk in the Commonwealth. 99% of wildfires are caused by people, where certain factors have to occur, such as dried grass or leaves, low humidity, and an ignition source to start the fire. If you were to start a fire at home or a campsite, DCNR suggests to make sure there are no flammable items within 10 feet of that fire. It's also recommended to have a rake or shovel with water to correctly crush the embers of a fire. And their last tip? Check DCNR's website to see if there is an elevated fire risk in your area. The Greater Hazleton 2022 Job Fair is underway to take place tomorrow at the Laurel Mall. The event, sponsored by the Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce, and will run from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Businesses who are participating in the event will offer information about career field and employment opportunities, conduct interviews, promote their business, gather resumes, seek interns, summer employment, and full or part-time positions. Attendance is free for all those who are looking for full or part-time employment, career advancements, or internship opportunities. 2 state law enforcement agencies are donating used equipment to help with humanitarian efforts overseas. Our Julie Stefanovich has more.
The Pennsylvania State Police and Pennsylvania Capitol Police are donating used body armor to Ukraine. Governor Tom Wolf commended both organizations today for their efforts.
This is part of what Pennsylvania is doing to support the courageous people in Ukraine. And our support is, I think, warranted. I mean, we admire the courage of the Ukrainians.
Pennsylvania has the second highest number of Ukrainian descendants in the United States.
Again, as you know, in addition to this, Pennsylvania is doing other things to try to help. The Liquor Control Board has agreed to take every Russian product off the shelves of the state stores. PSERS and SERS, our retirement systems, have agreed, their boards have agreed, and they are in the process of divesting of any Russian securities. The state treasurer, Stacey Garrity, is doing the same thing with state funds that she controls. I look forward to the General Assembly in a bipartisan way appropriating $2 million to help with the resettlement, should it be necessary, of Ukrainians who need to be resettled in places like Pennsylvania.
PSP is donating nearly 90 used vests, and the Capitol Police are giving 24 ballistic vests along with 15 helmets. Equipment will be delivered to Vermont State Police, then pending approval will be shipped to Ukraine.
Pennsylvania State Police and the Pennsylvania Capitol Police are sending used body armor that will potentially save the lives of humanitarian workers or Ukrainian police officers. PSP recently issued new body armor to some of our members, and these sets were slated to be destroyed. They were deemed surplus and scheduled to be destroyed shortly. However, it heartens me to know that the equipment will now be put to good use.
The vest will be put to use by humanitarian and rescue workers who are on the front lines conducting life-saving efforts throughout the war-torn country.
Every day, the men and women of the Pennsylvania Capitol Police take pride in carrying out their duties to ensure safety of our citizens and protect their way of life. We are honored to partner with the Pennsylvania State Police and the administration to be part of the efforts to help the citizens of Ukraine do the same thing through the donation of protective equipment.
Reporting for Wyln News, I'm Julie Stefanovich.
Coming up on Wyln News, a community crime forum coming up this weekend. Plus, the boys of summer are lining up the food vendors. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the Wyln Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
It's me again, LJ. I'm 9 years old, and tomorrow will be rainy. Get your umbrellas out because it's about to get wet.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts, just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today. Third Base Luncheonette, still making memories after all these years.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
Have you ever experienced that super pushy salesperson who follows you all around? Not here.
Or wandered around that big box store looking for help in the appliance department, only to find the pink guy? Not here.
And we have an experienced, courteous sales staff here to help you find the perfect mattress, piece of furniture, or appliance with no pressure.
And don't forget, everyday low prices.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969.
Hazleton Police and State Police will be holding a community crime forum this Saturday. It'll start at 4 p.m. at the Southside Fire Station located on East Broad Street. The gathering was created to speak with the community about the violent events that have recently gone on in the city. Police would like to hear what community members have to say and let them know what they're doing to enhance communication between police and the public. The Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs are currently accepting applications from vendors who'd like to participate in this spring's Food Truck Festival. The event returns to Coca-Cola Park on May 21st. The popular event will be divided into 2 sessions, the first from noon to 3 and the other from 5 until 8. Tickets are now available starting at $10 for adults, $5 for children ages 3 to 12. A limited number of tickets are available for each session, so those interested are encouraged to purchase them in advance. The Iron Pigs are still accepting applications for food truck vendors, and interested businesses can contact Allison Valentine by email at avalentine@ironpigsbaseball.com. Pfizer has recalled several lots of blood pressure medication in result of high levels of potential cancer-causing impurity. They're recalling 6 contaminated lots of its diuretic hypertension medication, as well as 5 lots of generic version of the drug, such as Quinapril. The affected lots were distributed between November 2019 through March of 2022 and discovered to have higher than normal intake levels of the chemical nitrosamine. So far, there haven't been any reports of issues from the drugs recalled, and there is no immediate risk for patients who are taking the medication. Patients with the affected product can call 888-843-0247 for instructions on how to return the product and get reimbursed for their cost. The Crayola Experience is celebrating National Crayon Day by giving away 1 million crayons. Kids will have the chance to create their own 32-count box for this year's National Crayon Day at the Crayola Factory. Registration has already started on the Crayola website to obtain a free 32-count crayon box starting March 31st through May 31st at one of their stores, including the Easton, Pennsylvania location. Participants will pick up their free box and fill it as they choose crayons from the store's 40-foot-long wall that displays 74 different crayon colors. Crayola will also be holding a sweepstakes where winners will be able to fill a free crayon box with their favorite colors as they celebrate the 64th birthday of Crayola's popular 64-count crayon box. Coming up on Hazleton's News Choice, colorectal cancer screenings plus Leading the Way, Jane Doherty, Part 3. Stay with us.
Want to learn to ski? The Pocono Mountains is the place to be. With lessons for every age. You'll be skiing or snowboarding in no time.
Now you're doing it by yourself.
And learning is fun. And the views are beautiful. Choose from 6 amazing ski areas. Learn more at PoconoSki.com.
Penn State Hazleton is improving the lives of others, starting in our community.
Providing degrees that meet the needs of the area.
Fueling entrepreneurship and contributing more than $36 million annually to the state's economy.
Researching the health of our local ecosystem on the Susquehanna River.
Together, our impact keeps growing, backed by the strength of 24 campuses and 700,000 alumni.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
Turn up the heat with Swords Cold Delivery. Family owned and operated, serving Hazleton and surrounding areas. Call 570-599-9355 to schedule your delivery. Swords is accepting new customers. Bilingual operators are available.
How you doing, everybody? This is Ricardo Santos from J Zapata. You remember this old monster? Well, we're moving into a building. It's a big restaurant. Come and check us out. This is what we had on our menu. Regular burrito. We have the taco americano. Let's go with the Mexicans. They don't have a sombrero, but there you go. Corn tortilla, gluten-free. This is the birria tacos, enchiladas, nachos, flan, 3 leches. That is right. Come at 620 Hillside Drive, grand opening of J Zapata Mexican Restaurant. Whoop, whoop.
If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Chura's Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in 610 North Broad Street, West Hazleton, 570-454-7229.
Did you know that WYLN News provides news updates every weekday afternoon
at 1, 3, and 5 here on TV and on social media?
Did you also know you can watch WYLN News on the go by visiting our website or YouTube page?
Now more than ever,
WYLN is your local news leader.
And welcome to another edition of Wellness Wednesday. Thanks to our friends over at Lehigh Valley Health Network. I'm Julia Wiegand with Dr. Nachumson, who is here today to discuss Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month. And we're going to start with the importance of screening for colon cancer. So, Dr. Nachumson, I guess we could just start with the why. Why is it so important for those hitting that age of needing to get checked out for colorectal cancer? Why is the process so important?
Well, thanks for having me. Every March we try to raise awareness about colorectal cancer because it's one of the 3 main cancers in this country, and approximately 50,000 people every year die from this disease, so it's very important to try to detect, and the sooner we can detect it, the better one's outcome tends to be, so that's why screening is very important. You know, if we can identify people who are at risk or who have early lesions in their colon, and we can remove them before they become cancerous, then that person obviously has a much better chance at long-term survival and well-being. So colon cancer is one of the few cancers that we have the ability to prevent with good screening tests.
And with that, I guess we'll transition into how is the screening process?
So for a long time, the recommendation had been for people to start getting screening for colorectal cancer at 50 years of age. This is for someone who has an average risk of colon cancer. But what we've been seeing over the last 10 years or so, somewhat disturbingly, is that there's actually been a slight increase in cancer incidence in a younger age group, that is those less than 50. So many medical societies now have actually recommended that the screening age be lowered to 45. To try to capture those patients, because it's obviously tragic when anyone gets colon cancer, but particularly someone of younger age. So when someone gets screened, they usually go through their primary care physician, and who will make a referral either to a gastroenterologist or to a surgery department, and we will usually set an individual up for a particular screening exam. In most cases, that tends to be a colonoscopy, but there are other screening modalities out there that we often talk to patients about, depending on what works best for them. We ultimately say the best screening test for any patient is the one that gets done. So trying to convince someone to get a screening test done is the most important prerogative.
And we can kind of tie it all together to wrap up the segment about how, you know, sometimes people might be a little scared to come in, and obviously this is an annual thing that people should really check out, especially if they're at risk. So with that, what's a big message that you want those who are hitting, you know, 40 to 45, 50 to understand about it's not as scary to get screened as maybe getting screened sounds?
Yes, I think some people do have some anxiety about this part of their body and so forth. But the reality is, you know, it's not fun to have colon cancer, and so you know most people ultimately will step up to the plate and tough it out. And the tests generally go a lot better for most people than what they expect to experience. So it's not worth getting yourself into trouble for your fear or anxiety about a particular screening modality. So obviously screening is the most important thing.
All right. Thank you so much for squeezing us in today to discuss colorectal cancer screenings, the importance in Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And thank you, everybody watching out there. Remember, March is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month, so don't forget to get your annual screenings if you are hitting the age of 45, 50 annual. It's not as scary as it might sound, and hey, it's better to take care of yourself ahead of time. And if you do happen to hit that spot, I mean, Lehigh Valley Health Network definitely has a lot of options for you in terms of treatment. So that's it for this Wellness Wednesday. We'll see you next time here on Wyln.
When emergency strikes, trust your care to the all-new ER at Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton. With a facility that's now twice the size. Experienced nurses who see you right away. A quick assessment process makes sure you get the care you need. Advanced technology on site. Safe, private treatment rooms, and a peace of mind that only this level of care can bring. When it matters most, trust your partner in emergency care. Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton.
Visit Clearfield County and enjoy the many flavors offered throughout their Lumberjack Tasting Trail. That includes a variety of breweries, distilleries, and wineries.
Sponsored by visitclearfieldcounty.org.
That's visitclearfieldcounty.org.
Visit all 16 locations and enjoy free tasting or purchase their Lumberjack special.
Don't forget to get your passport stamped at each location and earn your free t-shirt or hat for completing this wicked awesome trail.
Go to visitclearfieldcounty.org for more information.
That's visitclearfieldcounty.org.
Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the midday WYLN News update, posted between noon and 2 p.m. Powered by Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton, the all-new emergency room at Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton is nearly double the size. Our updated facility features all private rooms, the latest technology, and a quicker, easier check-in process. Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton, your partner in ER care.
Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online.
WYLN's going behind the scenes to learn more about the lives and goals of our local leaders. So, Jane Doherty is leading the way again into part 3 of this week's series.
And welcome back to this week's Leading the Way with Jane Doherty. Jane, for those who may not know, can you explain the role you play as the co-chair of the American Cancer Society Greater Hazelton Telethon and where your focus lies in that role?
As one of the co-chairs, there's another one, Clemmy Yamona, who is 92 years young, I guess I'm allowed to say that on TV, and still very actively involved with me. Between us, we coordinate all of the aspects of the telethon. So we'll be starting soon, looking for a location and a date for next year for our 44th telethon. We work with a committee of great volunteers who worry about securing the entertainment, doing children's artwork so that we do a cancer prevention lesson for children in 2nd grade in our area. We even worry about things down to food to feed the volunteers. So we coordinate all of the efforts of the telethon, which was just held on November 13th and 14th, but we'll be back planning for next year.
So it's a busy time. As soon as one's over, you start the next one.
Yes.
Okay. Check back tomorrow night as Jane continues leading the way into part 4 of this week's segment. Good night.
And that's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page, YouTube page, or at WYLNTV.com. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.